raised their hands a minute ago when you asked them how many people got value last time. It's awesome. Amazing. Hey, it's great to be back here. Seems like I never stop coming back here. It's like, on my way around. I give people directions and things now. Oh no, it's over there. Take a left. And so it's awesome to be here. Incredible what you guys have been doing. And what's really fun for me is bringing Mr. Tim Sales here. Is that awesome? And I know it's 200 degrees in here, man, but that was weak. Was that awesome or not? Remember, no one ever gets started or wants to sign up in a room of a bunch of golf claps, you know? So let's get real, people. All right. So what's exciting to me is, James was talking a second ago about progressions and people sticking with it and the whole bamboo deal. That was pretty awesome because when I started in network marketing right out of the military, I was an Army officer. And so when I started, I was working a corporate job, just started it. And my first year in network marketing, I made like 5,000 pounds, right? Like $6,300 US. And most of that money was made my like last 2 months of the year. So I started like in February, and I didn't make very much money. But the next year, what I figured out, what I needed to get good at, one thing was how to talk to people effectively and learn the skills. So you guys want to do a little skill training today? Yes. I know I'm not always Mr. Inspiration, but whatever. I would rather inspire you with like real stuff you can take home, not that inspiration thing. See, there's like 50% of the business skill training, 50% inspiration, motivation, hearing stories. You guys ever heard anything inspirational today? Yeah. Awesome. Well, today, right now, we want to do a little bit of skill training, which is going to make you a better trainer, right? So as you're building your business, you can be aware of things. So after my first year, what happened was I didn't ever do any presentations. I was like, all I got good at is talking to people on the phone and having communication, basically having conversation with people. So my next year, while I was working a full-time job at Dell, I ended up, I made about $55,000 US part-time, pretty good. It was like almost reaching my salary. Next year I made $137,000 and I quit my job. That was part-time. I quit my corporate job in 2003. I wasn't in the right comp plan like Tim was in that other company, and I retired at 33, but not with that kind of income he made. But I was basically out of corporate America since then. And one of the things I learned was how to be effective in communication. But I didn't have a systematic way of teaching people it. I would do a lot of, you're not saying it right? You ever said something like that to somebody when you're hearing them talk to a prospect? And that wasn't really awesome. So what I want to help you guys today is a couple of things. One, a little bit of a process of how any conversation goes with somebody, and then some things that you can be aware of so that so that you'll be effective when you're talking to people, right? Wouldn't that be good? So that we don't push prospects away from us. We don't say things like, they just, this business is hard, things of that nature, because people end up saying that, or, I tried it for a little while, but it didn't work. I want to help you avoid all those things. So, it's over. I'm just kidding. All right, so I want to talk to you about inviting, and then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about communication qualities. And, why learn inviting, okay? Well, one of the major reasons is, I hear this a lot in network marketing. You can't say the wrong thing to the right person. You ever heard that? Yeah. That's so stupid. You can completely say the wrong thing to the right person. Have you ever seen someone do that? Never? You guys talk to prospects, right? Come on, listen. You can't totally say the wrong thing to the right person. So we don't want to do that. What we want to do is, it's not what you know, but who you know is one of the big ones, right? That's what people say. But if you communicate poorly, it doesn't matter who you know. And I jumped ahead there. It's not what you say, but how you say it. But where do you learn how to say it? Who actually teaches us how to say things correctly so that we attract prospects to us versus push them away from us? If you're having a situation where you're having a conversation, you're inviting someone to look at something, and then it goes, have you ever had prospects disappear after you talk to them? Yeah. Have you ever had someone say they're not interested? Yeah. Come on, of course, right? A lot of times, are actually what it do, a couple of these can actually toss people right out of the business, right? They'll say, gosh, it's pretty tough. I talked to 4 people, and it wasn't, I don't know what happened. I'm just not interested in this. Well, the problem is we don't slow down and focus on our prospect. And one of the big things you can do is be aware that some things that we do, we push people away, okay? So people will say, well, leads, getting leads is expensive, doing advertising, whatever, is expensive. Going to a networking event, maybe you pay a fee to go, and you don't get any results. So you can say, gosh, it's expensive. It's expensive if you don't learn how to invite properly. So what I want to do is spend a couple of minutes just on a structure. And I'm going to make this a little interactive here in a second, but what is inviting? It's really the gateway thing, the gateway skill for all of us to learn. Because if we can't invite someone to look at information, a video, whatever, then we don't really have a business. No one can invite for you. Okay, so inviting is asking someone to do something. Come to dinner with me. You guys do it all the time. This is what's great, is that you do it all the time. But what happens in network marketing is people join this and they kind of forget that. They go, oh, they just go right to an invite. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Okay? So, but the great thing is, we're doing it. Anybody ask someone to come to this event and they came with you? Yeah? Successful invite, right? Anybody ever ask anybody to go to dinner? Yeah, right? So, anybody ever ask anybody to do anything? Of course, we all have, right? Watch the kids, do this, whatever. And so, come to a meeting with me, watch a video that can help you get. So, we're doing it all the time, okay? All invitations follow a natural flow, and that was what I was getting at earlier. So, from one section to the next. But what I found in network marketing is people were jumping past. There's a process, and they were skipping a couple of steps, and then wondering why things weren't going so well. Okay? So this is the formula that Tim came up with, Tim Sales. When I was building, someone sent me these CDs called, they told me to buy these CDs at the time, and it was Professional Inviter. And I listened to the whole thing, it was like 8 hours of CDs. I listened to the whole thing in one day. I said, this is the best thing ever. I contacted him, that's how I got to know Tim, and through that whole process, quite honestly, that's how we have RX, right? Because I built that relationship with Tim, it developed, and we ended up creating this company about 5 years ago, okay? So this stuff's important, but I see a lot of people not really paying attention to this. They'll say, oh, how many people listen to the boss at all, ever? Anybody? Yeah. And then I'll ask them what the inviting formula is, and I'm like, right? They don't know that they don't know it. And so what I would encourage you to do is to really learn this. So if you have a conversation with someone, what's the first thing you need to do? Greet them. But it's not just a hello. It's, hey, what do you in the greeting, what do you think? What kind of things we talk about? What's that? How you doing? Yeah, you've never met him before? What would you say? If I came to your house, you never met me before. Well, what's your name? Steve, where are you from? Why do you talk so weird, right? All these things. Right back at you guys. So, all of that, right? You would ask me about myself. What do I do for a living? Am I enjoying my stay? All those things. So in the greeting, we have to do this with our prospects. And I used to do live phone calls, and people would be like, why are you spending 20 minutes with a prospect and you haven't even told them anything? I said, because I'm doing a greeting. You don't do a greeting and your check is zero. See, your check is not big because you're not doing greetings and qualifying with people. And so Tim broke it down into buckets. And so I'll go through this formula. There's a greet, there's a qualify, then you invite someone based on what they want, closing to action, and then you follow through. And at any time during this process, you can be questions or objections. What I found in network marketing oftentimes is people would say some things and then just straight invite someone to look at a video. Hey, you should do this. Hey, you should look at this video. Hey, I know you want to lose weight. Check this out. And but do they know anything about the person? Not really, right? They don't know much. They don't know anything. And so they're skipping the first two steps, and the results just really aren't that great. So if you look at this formula, when I'm inside this bucket called the greet, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the person, right? I'm finding out what's going on with them. I'm learning about what's happening in their life, and I'm following along with that person and asking them questions based on what's going on with them. So that's the greet. So make sure, if you wanted to go out, if someone says, hey, you need to go prospect, sometimes that can be pretty scary. Go prospect. Oh my gosh, what does that mean? It means go learn. If you're going to go to the networking event like Joanna was talking about, what are you going to go there and do? You can't just go there and start inviting people. They're going to kick you out of that networking group pretty quickly. What you're going to do is you're going to learn about people, find out, and listen for things that qualify. So there's a greeting. So the first bucket here is the greeting. And I don't ask you qualifying questions like, hey, would you ever think about, creating another income outside of what you're doing? I don't ask them that until I learn about the person, right? So in the greeting, I'm getting the person to speak to me openly and freely. That's the definition of the greeting, right? Freely and openly. The person's freely and openly telling me about themselves. Does that make sense? Like when somebody, you're not in a greeting when the person's really rigid. Yes, no, no. That's not a greeting, right? The person's really, like they're doing short answers, they're not opening up, they're doing yes, no. So you ask open-ended questions. How long have you worked here? What have you done prior? So that's in the greeting. Once I get the person open up to me, and really you know what's happening when they're kind of laughing with you. You guys ever know, like someone they relax with you? That's when you can, they have either said something during the greeting that was qualifying for either a product or a business because you're listening for that. But if not, you could straight up ask them a qualifying question right then. So as soon as I get them to open up, quickly I go into qualify, and I would say something like, have you ever thought about, and definition of qualify, by the way, is what the person needs, wants, or doesn't want. Like they might not want to work at their job anymore, okay? So when you find that, like let's say the person says, I just don't want to work, I don't want to be commuting all the time on the motorway, I don't want to do that anymore, I want to be with my kids. So now, is that a good qualify? Yeah. And what would that qualify for? Weight loss? Yeah. Or business? Business, right? So then I could say, hey, you know what? I could invite them and say, hey, I've got a video that can help you spend more time with your kids. So I'm going to quickly invite that person based on what they want, right? But I'm using their words to invite them. So whatever they say, I'm going to invite them off of that, okay? And then closing to action is just simply, and inviting them is having them look at something that can help them get what they want. Then closing to action is just basically like, and they're going to agree to go do something, and you're agreeing to follow up. So they may say, I'm going to watch a video, and you say, I'll call you back tomorrow at 2 p.m. And that's that's closing them to an action step. It's not closing a sale, but it's closing them to an action step. And then at 2 p.m., you follow up with the person, and you follow up with them. Anytime during that, they can have a question. You could be saying, hey, they can have a question or objection anywhere in there. Hey, what's this about? Like you could be in the qualified and they say, yeah, I am looking for another income. What is it? Right? And so then you say, hey, you know what? I've got a video that can show you exactly what it is. So I handle the objection and I move right back to the invite, right? So that's what you can do. That can happen anywhere. So we just want to know that, and you can do a whole training just on the inviting formula, okay? The greet, the qualify, the invite. And one of the big things that I learned, and Tim learned it while he was training people, is, yeah, they were following this formula, but then some things would still not go well. And it came down to listening to what people were saying. So he came up with the communication qualities, okay? And so here's the definition. Communication means to reveal clearly or receive clearly, okay? And then quality means the degree of excellence. So there's these qualities, and I'm going to go through them, and I'm going to make it a little fun here, make you guys do a little exercise. Warm it up in here. You guys want to warm it up? Come on. It's fun here. So these are them really fast. You guys got them down? Good. That's the last time you see them. All right. Come on, you guys are always on your phones. All right. Those are them. I will go over them in a different way here in a sec. But there's communication qualities. So these are 10 things that you do. If you do them correctly, it's really hard not to say the right thing to people. I'm not saying about a script, but if you're interested in the prospect, if you're not distracted by anything, staring at your phone, right? If you have a sincere, friendly facial expression, the correct amount of assertiveness, you communicate easily, all right? You make sure your body doesn't distract the prospect. You tell the truth. You know what you're talking about. And you communicate at the prospect's level, and you have the intention to make their life better. If you're doing all those things, then you're going to do awesome. So when I'm on a phone call, I have these things in the back of my mind to keep me on track. I know them. How hard is it to memorize 10 things? Pretty easy, right? 10 things? Could you guys do it? I'll show you how to do it here in a sec, okay? So the first one is communication quality number 1, which is be interested in the prospect. A lot of times, people try to be interesting. Hey, you know what? I've been doing this new business, and they're talking all about themselves, right? Slow down and don't do that. You want to be interested in the prospect, not interesting to the prospect. You guys see the difference? If I'm interested in you versus interesting to you. If I'm interested, so a good example of interested would be asking you about your job. How long you worked there? So that's interested. Interesting is, oh, I used to have a job. I don't need one of those anymore. Who cares, right? Like that's interesting. You guys get it? And one of the cool things is, if you're nervous when you're about to meet somebody, is you can always get into, you can say this phrase, Tim, before every phone call, and this kind of settles you down. I'm interested in you. I'm interested. Wouldn't that be cool if you, right before you got on the phone, or you're about to call someone, you say, hey, I'm interested in you, or I'm about to meet you. You say under your breath, I'm interested in you. It's going to put you on the right focus. Does that make sense? Okay? And so you'll never say the wrong thing to any prospect if you're genuinely interested in them. People will come away saying, I don't even talk about myself at all, just with this one communication quality, and people say, man, that guy is so interesting, because I'm learning all about them, right? So it's a big one. And so these are some of the things, what do you do? You think about whatever they're interested in, okay? What they're wearing, what they're doing, what they're talking about, what they're looking at, what that person really wants, right? What do they enjoy doing? This is a whole list of things that you can start thinking about, right? And what they enjoy listening to. What I would tell you to do is what you enjoy listening to doesn't matter, right? What football team they follow doesn't matter. If you don't like it, doesn't matter, right? You're interested in, oh my gosh, how come you like Man City? When did you start liking them? Oh my gosh, whatever, right? You're learning about the person, okay? And you're interested. What are their hobbies, okay? Some of the things you don't do, though, you don't think about the money you can make if they sign up. Dude, I got this big leader, man. It's going to make so much money, right? But you're thinking that, and then you call them, and you're like, right? And you're not interested, okay? If you're saying the right thing or not. These are things that you go through your mind. So you don't want to be thinking about whether you're saying the right things. What do I say next? What do I say? If I'm thinking, you guys ever think about that? You're talking to someone, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say next? They're going to ask you this question. If I'm doing that, am I interested? No. Okay, it also falls into the next communication quality. If your prospects think you're fake because of your car, your clothes, your house, okay? These are all the things that run through our mind. If your prospect will object when you tell them it's network marketing. You guys ever thought about that before? Oh my gosh, I hope they don't ask me if it's MLM, right? Okay? If the prospect doesn't do it, how will it make your volume this month, right? Oh my gosh, I don't get a sign up. What's going to happen, right? How will you handle the objection or question the prospect is asking or saying? Doesn't matter. Oh my gosh, they're going to ask me this. They're going to ask me that. And that stuff right there causes you not to be interested. So slow down, learn about what they're doing, and repeat. Basically, you use their words to ask them questions. That's how you be interested. Okay, so what's the first communication quality?
Interested.
Can you come up here, please, man? You're right here. You got to do it quick, right now, right here. Okay? We're going to help you out. So that's number one. Okay? Here comes number two. Okay? Don't be distracted by anything, including this gal walking up. Focus on me right now. Okay? Don't be distracted. Don't look at her once. Don't even try it. Don't do it. You messed up already, guys. Eyes forward. All right. So this is, what's your name? Naz, your new name is communication quality number one. And it is, no, that's not your name. I'll mess that up. Be interested. Not interesting. Okay, be interested. There you go. Who's that?
Be interested.
Thank you. All right, good. Communication quality number two. All right, is don't be distracted by anything, including the clock that says I have 4 minutes. Just kidding. No, it doesn't actually, but it says 5. So your silent statement will be destroyed. Don't take your attention off the prospect. No multitasking. This is pretty tough for us to do because we're on our phones all the time, right? You ever talk to someone and they're like, yeah, whatever. Right, yeah. So what I'm saying to you is when you're doing that, what's it doing to your prospect? Just, do they think you're very interested in them? No, you're killing your prospect. You're talking to them and you're scrolling Facebook. Yeah, what do you say? Your dad died and that happened? I tell you, it happens. They'll say, yeah, then like we went into foreclosure. Yeah. And the person's like, "You didn't even hear me." And so, boom, prospect goes away, and you just lost the prospect because why? You're distracted. Because you're distracted. So don't be distracted by anything. All right. Multitasking. I know ladies think they can do it. I don't think so. All right. You can do one thing at a time. Boom, 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 rapidly. But you can't effectively listen to someone and be doing something else. You can't do it. So stop. Because that stupid little Facebook scroll you're doing just cost you a prospect. Might have cost you a 6-figure income. Ooh, right? It could. I'm not joking. All right. So don't take this stuff lightly. Okay. When someone comes in late in a meeting, don't everyone stare at them. Okay. It causes your meeting it causes the whole presentation to come off. Right. To get distracted. Right. So other common distractions. Guys. Women walk, well, that's another one. You're getting me ahead, right? But you're talking to someone and then a lady walks by and the guys are like, right? Women checking out other women's clothes. Come on, right? So these are some other things that go on. But the biggest thing is, don't be distracted. The one I was mentioning earlier also is thinking about what to say next. Your thoughts distract you, okay? Come on up. What's this one? In the back. What is this one? In the nosebleeds. What is this one? All right. You're a runner. Come on, let's see it. All right. This is. Number 2. Don't be distracted. All right. Don't remember that. Don't forget that. Okay. Here we go. Oh, sorry. We just went through some of those, all right? So communication quality number 3. Just remember, you're talking to a prospect, and you have these things in mind. Even if I'm on the phone and they can't see me, is it better to be smiling or frowning? This is a great presentation today. I know you can't really see me all the way back there, but I'm excited about this business. It's fun. I don't know why you guys want to sign up. What do you mean I'm pissed off? Screw you, I'm not pissed off. Like, people used to say, "Hey Steve, what are you so mad about?" I was just thinking, I was like, oh my gosh, smile, right? Open face, smile. Carl was talking about it earlier today. This is one of the big ones. It's something you can easily do. And the worst one, and this is how you really train people up on this, is just put a mirror in front of them. And they're like, ooh, right? Or you take a picture and say, "That's what you look like." And they're like, oh. So it's humbling, but let me ask you this. Would you rather me tell you need to work on just have a sincere, friendly facial expression versus you keep doing that and it's costing you prospects, right? No one wants to talk to a stone face, right? So, I think that's it here. So, yes, come on up. What do you mean? You're smiling. She's already winning. She's already done it right. She's smiling. Okay. Just remember how you look to others. So an open face. You don't have to be like a fake smile. "Hey, how's it going?" That looks really stupid, right? That looks dumb. That's ridiculous. Okay. Okay. Stand in the line now. You guys are. Here we go. The sincere, friendly facial expression. You guys will catch on. All right. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this all comes. What stops a person from having this desired facial expression? Fear. They're scared of their prospects, so they're like nervous, right? We don't want to show that, right? Bad advice. You need to look like you're serious. Really? Bad advice. Not really interested, right? Or you're affected by what someone said. No. Right? The person's like, no, right? So, like, those things give off. And remember, that sends your prospect away from you. Okay. Communication quality number 4. All right? Use the correct amount of assertiveness. Assert means the amount of force or effort used to make an opinion known. Too much assertiveness versus not enough. Okay? And this is a big one. This is the one that probably sends most people, this one hurts most people's prospecting. Because you ever talk to someone who's like, "Yeah, what do you want?" They're like really fast talking. You ever talk to someone like that? Yeah. And then they're like, "Wow." And they're like, "What do you want?" If you meet that person with, "Well, I have a business," they're like, "No, see you later." Right? And you're like, "That person's mean." No, you didn't communicate at their level. right? So if you can think of it as a scale, if someone's like an 8, like they're pretty aggressive, that doesn't mean they're a bad prospect. You just need to raise your assertiveness to about a 9, okay? You can't be, if I'm talking to a little old lady, I can't be like, hey, listen, this business is awesome, right? They'll be like, wow, what's wrong with you, right? What the hell is wrong with that guy, right? So, you can't do it, right? Hey, you should join this business, right? You just jumped. The whole 3 rows just jumped. Okay, it's too assertive, right? So you want to ratchet it down, right? Talk to this person, talk to that person. The more you can get good at this, and there's a whole drill you can do on this, but this one's huge, okay? Also, I see people doing this, and it's, you think you're being cool, but you're not. You're being a fool, all right? Somebody has a sports team. Oh, I almost did this the other day. There's a local, like, okay, let's say, I know everyone's excited about, like I said earlier, their different football teams. What if you don't like a certain team and the person says they like it? Like they say, like, hey, I like Liverpool, and they're like, Liverpool? Too assertive, right? If you want that prospect to be in communication with you, does that make sense? Yeah. Say, oh my gosh, yeah, they're doing pretty good. What do you like about them? Or whatever. You say something positive. Does that make sense? So too much assertiveness is like, hey, where'd you buy that shirt? Oh my gosh. Right? Too assertive. We think those jabs are fun. Oh yeah, it can be okay. But are you making yourself in the right communication with that person? So that's this is huge. And one of the big things in having the right amount of assertiveness is it gives you that it factor, that charisma that everyone's always searching for. It's not something you just make up, right? Charisma, means a personal quality that arouses devotion and enthusiasm in others. If you want to communicate to the most amount of people, use the right amount of assertiveness. Does it make sense? You have to do that. So, come on up. Hazel. All right. What's this one? Oh. Smile. No, that's how we screw it all. Smile, right? So, have a sincere, friendly facial expression. Here we go. Correct amount of assertiveness. All right. All right, number 5. Communicate easily. This one's pretty easy, okay? This one's pretty easy to just go through, but no tension, strain, fakeness, sounding rehearsed, stuttering, or hesitating. Oh gosh, can't wait to join that team, right? Right? So easily means free from worry, anxiety, trouble, or pain, okay? Requiring or exalting little effort. And this is where everyone's chicken list stuff comes from, right? And if you rehearse, the funny part is, if you actually rehearse, then you don't sound rehearsed. If you practice some of the objections, as you go through, as you get better, you start working on your skills, you start having these conversations, you go back and forth, and you practice before you get in front of a real prospect, then you won't sound rehearsed. You won't sound like you're doing that. So communicate easily, okay? Come on. There you go. Yeah? Communicate easily. That's your new name. Don't just tell everyone that you meet you. Communicate easily. All right? That's it. I love it. All right? 6. This is a big one for James. White pants. All right, here we go. Don't let your body distract the prospect. All right? He's looking for attention, I know. But some of these examples are, the big trade shows, they spend like $10 million on these big trade shows, and the feedback that they got, the negative feedback, was that the salesperson had bad breath, and that's why the people didn't buy. Bad breath costs $10 million. The guy doesn't have a mint. Come on, right? So, bad breath, body odor. You ever talk to someone with bad breath? Don't you just want to, yeah, okay, got it. I'm out of here, right? You don't want to talk to them, right? So, just think about that. You ever, this is the one that makes, the guy shakes my hand, and like for the next day I smell like Italian, I don't know, the Italian stallion or something. I'm like, what is this? It's musk. Right? And you're like, you can't go in your suit, it's on your suit all day. Thanks a lot, right? So your cologne and perfume, you ever see someone just, they walk in a room like a Starbucks or something, whoa, right? And they're just like, they put so much on they can't tell anymore, right? That sends people away from you, all right? Tone it down a little bit, okay? Dress, nothing provocative, okay? Even when you're doing like videos in front of people, you don't want to show these crazy stuff, stick with the company stuff. And, presenters, be as nicely dressed as the nicest dressed person, okay? That's huge. Just think about it. I know some people think it's cool to be sloppy and all that, or I'm dressed like down, all that, whatever. But you should look sharp no matter what. You wear trainers, you wear your sweatpants and all that kind of stuff. I do that all the time, but I don't look like I just rolled out of bed either, okay? So think about that. Annoyances, scratching, rocking back and forth, picking your nose. All right, I don't know. That one's just in there, but popping your gum and snapping your gum. It's not impressive. It sends your prospects away. So just remember, cleavage and all that stuff. Yeah, you may have people excited about joining your business, but why are they joining it, right? Why are they attracted to your business? Be professional, right? I know we have fun in this team at night. We have fun, but during business, be professional. Okay, and that's really it. Don't let your body be a distraction. Okay, 7. Tell the truth. Truth means that which is factual based on observed data, all right? Poor communication is anything said or applied that is dishonest or unethical, all right? Creates a poor reputation and will shut off your network. So you want to be telling the truth. You don't want to be making up income claims. You don't have to say how much someone's making if you don't know. So, I don't know, but I know that they quit their job 2 years ago, right? I hear the income's north of like 20,000 pounds. I'm not completely sure, but and that's another one. You can go, if someone says, they ask you a question, you don't know, don't make up the answer. Say, I don't know the answer, I'll get back to you. Okay? Don't be making health claims. All of these things have actually got network marketing companies completely shut down, right? So telling the truth is huge. And if you're not telling the truth, you're making things up, people will shut off their networks to you. Okay? So this is a huge one. It's easy to do, and it's easy to mess up, all right? But if you just have a little discipline on it, you say, I'm going to tell the truth. I don't even know that answer. I really don't know what James is making, but I know that they put him in the Founders Club, meaning he's now going to be a part owner in the company for life. They're going to give him a dividend, so it's huge. And then you just throw it back to the person, and you just ask them another question, okay? So, people don't want to work with dishonest, unethical people. They're not going to open up their networks to you. So, tell the truth. I missed. Okay, hold on. 6? I did. James? Oh, that's the clock was running out. So we got 2 of them. Come on up, you 2. Both of you. Yeah, that's right. Both of us. All right. Okay, while they're doing that, mess you up. What's this one? Oh, be interested. No. A smiley, friendly face. No. Have a sincere, friendly facial expression. Don't be distracted. Correct amount of assertiveness. Communicate easily, right? What's this one? Assertiveness. Sorry. Too assertive. I messed up with my props over here, I'm sorry. So this one is, don't let your body be a distraction. Tell the truth. All right, good. A couple more. Know what you're talking about. Being new is an excuse not to know what you're talking about. You can still say we have different brands, and you can go into it. You don't have to know all the details. Matter of fact, I would avoid trying to act like you know too much, where you're just giving everything out. But you do need to know what you're talking about, okay? You cannot unconfuse people. So what that means is, if you start using jargon, hey, like we have the Activate compensation plan, and then we have a matching bonus, 7 generations, person's like, huh? Right? They don't know what you're talking about. Well, Benally, and then, Nutrify. You think someone knows what you're talking about? No, you can say, hey, we have a product that has, like you need vitamin C. Yeah, antioxidants. Yeah, we have some nutritional products that do that kind of stuff. So you talk in the language that they understand. If you're talking, how many people have some kind of work where you guys have your own language basically at work, right? Yeah. I've been cut off. Oh, there we go. Come back. Hey. All right. So prospects greatly admire those who know their business. So these are some things to know. Know about the industry. We have great information about that. Know about RX. Know about RX's products. Know about people and how to train them. You know those 4 areas, you're going to do awesome. All right. So, number 8. Come on, Mr. Perry. Scouser. Let's go. Here we go.
Tell the truth.
Which one? Don't let your body distraction. Which one? This one? Know what you're talking about. Okay. Number 9. Okay, communicate at the... Oh, I messed that all up, didn't I? No, I didn't. This is what I was going in. I went too fast. Number 9 is communicate at the prospect's level. That's what I was getting into. No jargon, no talking about finale, different things like that. That's what you don't want to do, okay? You don't want to use words that your prospect doesn't understand. Does that make sense? If you use words and you think they understand it, they don't understand it, okay? So if you're pointing out finale, and you say, hey, they can read about it, okay? Hey, this is what it is. Boom, let them read about it, okay? But don't be using words that they don't understand, thinking you're cool, and the person's like, I have no idea what you're talking about, okay? And that's huge, because when you start using those words, people feel lost, they don't feel connected with you, okay? So number 9, push. Here we go. So communication, number 9, there's one more. Communicate at the prospect level. Okay? Number 10, one of the most important ones, I would say. They're all important. But if you have this in mind, okay, you have the intention to make the person's life better. Can you imagine if you're calling prospects and you have the intention to make their life better? Are you going to feel like you're a salesperson and selling them? Right? Hey, my intention is to make your life better. Help you. I remember you were talking about you wanted to drop 2 stone. Okay, boom. Now you're communicating at their level and you're understanding, right? So your intention is actually to make that person's life better, and it's huge. Okay, the definition of the word intention is an aim that guides action. So it guides your actions in the right direction versus how much money you're going to make from someone or something like that. Okay, and so these are some things I find with people. Sometimes they're really focused on how much money they're going to make, or they're worried about that kind of stuff. And if anybody who's chasing money usually doesn't have any. So take your focus on what's going to happen to you, put your focus on the prospect, and have your intention to help them. That's what our business really is. Our business is helping a person, whatever they may need, right? So with that, one more. Come on up, right here. Yeah, come on up. Which one's this one? Communicate at the prospect's level of understanding. Know what you're talking about. Don't let your body distract. Communicate easily. Correct amount of assertiveness.
Wow.
Sincere, friendly facial expression. Don't be distracted. Be interested. And that's it. 10 communication qualities. They're actually in your boss. You should have them down by now. What's this one? Don't let your body distract the prospect. So you got all of them. There's 10. But if you imagine yourself talking to prospects from now on, and you have those things in mind, and as you're training people, you can say, hey, you know what? You were a little too assertive on that call. Hey, you know what? Smile a little bit when you're on the phone. Yeah, just when you're training someone. Hey, have a sincere, friendly facial expression. Boom. Now you got it down, okay? So these are some things that will really help you as you're building your business. Be aware of these, and, we'll see you on the beaches in 2017, all right? Okay, everybody, thanks so much.